Hello, BL lovers. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I want to discuss some BL characters that represent insecurities or some BL characters that are insecure. We normally see insecurities in two forms in BL series, which is either the characters are insecure about themselves. This is usually caused by mental disorder or low self-esteem, or the characters is insecure about their relationship. In this case, this is usually caused by past trauma and lack of trust. Some of this character as seen in the series have been in a toxic relationship that has messed them up, and if this person is not properly healed, it's going to be a big problem in their relationship. In this video, I will talk about some BL characters that represent insecurities and how it affected their relationship. So without further ado, let's start our video. Number 1 on my list is Ray. Ray is one of the BL insecure characters, and his started as a result of how life treated him since birth. Since his mother did not want him and his father failed to show him father love, he felt no one wanted him. That is why he fell in love with his best friend, because it was only Mew who was always there for him at the time. Such people often mistake people's intention, and they are likely to get emotionally attached to the first person who showed them love and care. Since his best friend rejected his love, he couldn't cope with it because he thought one day his friend would get a partner and would have to focus more on his relationship. This was really eating him up and made him asking himself why nobody wanted him. Growing up was not fun for him because he was lonely, but luckily he met Sand, who genuinely liked him for who he was. But poor Ray wanted to buy Sand love with his money because that was the only thing he had to offer to keep people in his life. He almost screwed everything up because he thinks Sand was in his life for the money he throws at him. But Sand was the total opposite. I promise I am not trying to make excuses for his red flags characters, but Ray character in the series was so pitiful, and it's good that he had Sand stayed with him because not everyone can cope with an insecure person. Because if he is insecure about himself, he will be insecure about the relationship. This was the reason why Ray mistook Sand intention when he found out that his dad was involved with Sand persuading him to go to rehab. Poor Sand was bleeded on because Ray was not properly healed at the time. Their relationship was not great because Ray was much more insecure about the relationship. He couldn't even trust Sand. Although many people think Ray was so much in love with Sand, that is why he bugs him around, which I also think so. But the fact remains that if an insecure person is in a relationship, he is going to be toxic. The next on my list is Vegas. Vegas appeared to be a person who is strong, but he was depressed and insecure. Vegas' dad was the root and generation of his problems. I am not really surprised that Vegas is still the leading red flag characters in BL series after 3 years. Vegas' dad made him believe that he was never good enough, and no matter what he does to please him, he will always compare him to Kin. Vegas' character is also very pitiful. The damages his dad caused into his life made him turn into a monster. Everything Vegas does wasn't what he wanted for himself. He wasn't even granted a life of his own. I know Vegas suffered from abuses from his father, but just look at Pete, who just want to be loved the way he loved Vegas. It is so sad to see how Vegas bleed on Pete massively. The more Vegas' dad criticized him, the more he bounce on Pete, and that is how it will be. No matter how much he loved Pete, he will always be toxic because Pete is the only one who will not leave even when his life is almost taken. If it was that the damage Vegas' dad caused will only affect his son, it will have been much better, but training a child to be a monster, he will surely have a negative impact on the society. The next on my list is Sky. Sky is also one of the leading insecure characters, and his is also accompanying with other mental disorders. But let's talk about his insecurities. Sky was always insecure about himself because he loved a horrible person in the past who treated him like trash. This man made him believe that he is a nobody and he is not good enough for anyone. This is why Sky find it very difficult to love again. Even when he loved again, he still bleeded on Pai. Even though Pai is also not that innocent, he was genuine with Sky, but since Sky have developed trust issues, he believes if he asked he would lie to him, so he just imagine things based on his past experience and give himself a concluded answer. Sky almost ruined his happy relationship. The level of maturity Pai used to solve the problem makes him remain my frictional husband forever. The next on my list is Muzuki. In my personal Waterman, Both Muzuki and Yo have their insecurities, but let's talk about Muzuki first. Muzuki is also one of the insecure characters in BL series, more like lack of trust and overpossession, which makes him think Yo will run away from him. The attitude of over-control he has over Yo and how he bullied him before he realizes how much he was into Yo made him think that if Yo is succeeding in his artwork, he will leave him, which I don't blame him because in his mind, he thinks Yo was with him because he needed help, and so what will happen if he is financially stable? This was Muzuki insecurities in the series. After he fell in love unexpectedly, he wanted to do everything for Yo so that he would be in charge of his life forever. But if they were in good communication terms, they might have understood each other better. And as for Yo, he is not brainless. He know what Muzuki is trying to do is to take charge of his life completely. He don't even object that because he was in love and he liked everything Muzuki does to him. But he also wanted a life of his own. He wanted his dream to come true. And he also wanted to have an impact in life, and if he don't quickly realize what Muzuki was doing to him, he might render him useless because that is what insecure men do. Yo, not being able to be successful in what he does made him insecure about himself. Although he kept his hope high, but the rejection he faces after putting so much effort into his work makes him have low self-esteem. And what he needed at that time was encouragement from whoever is close to him. But his boyfriend will tell him to stay at home because he can take care of him. But I really love the fact that he did not give up easily. The next on my list is Hira, also one of the main characters in BL series that represent insecurities. Hira is insecure about himself. He is also insecure about his relationship because he never thought he could keep this man to himself. Even after Kyoi moved in with him and did all the couple things together, he still could not believe that he owned this man. Maybe because he is not in charge of the relationship, he think Kyoi does not value him as much as he value him, but Kyoi was also in love. Sincerely. Sometimes I just think Hira is too annoying. He was making love difficult for them. I know he has some disorder, but he also contribute to their relationship being unhealthy, and I'm not blaming him for Kyoi attitude or for Kyoi being a bully, but Hira lacks self-value already. He is just too weak. There are other men with similar character in BL series, but the majority of them are so controlling, but because he felt he was not good enough for his boyfriend. He have it in mind that one day they will go their separate ways. This is a man who he can do anything for, but the struggle of his insecurities was not helping their relationship. If not for his boyfriend Kyoi that always take the bold step in everything, Hira is not ready to make a move at all. He is happy living in the fantasy of him wanting Kyoi and worshipping him as a king, and that was Hira. He is emotionally torturing Kyoi because he failed to love him properly. He also did not believe it whenever Kyoi says he loves him because he believes he is never good enough. He is just so annoying. He is the only BL character that made love look like hard work. I love Hira, but sometimes I wish he could do better. That all for this episode. Bring me other insecure characters in BL series in the comment section. Let's talk about it in my next video. Thanks for watching.